The Rock MCHUNU.
Well, The Rock Thabiso MCHUNU is one of boxing's premier hard luck cases, stemming from a pair of questionable decision losses at the hands of Yamil Peralta and to longtime rival Junior Makabu, which means that MCHUNU has an argument for having beaten the WBC's number 2 and number 8 rated cruiserweights at present time in his last 2 fights. But the 2 biggest wins of MCHUNU's career have taken place here in Russia. Wins over Denis Lebedev in 2019 and Olympic gold medalist Evgeny Tishchenko in 2021, which has made this fight extremely marketable in Russia. In other words, can this Russian standout tonight finally put an end to MCHUNU's streak of upsets in this country, or can MCHUNU finally break through with a major victory?
Welcome to the gold corner from Russia, Muslim GADZHIMAGOMEDOV.
The 2020 Olympic silver medalist, Muslim GADZHIMAGOMEDOV, has professional gold being carried behind him as well. That is the WBA Bridgerweight title, which he made the first defense of last time out, scoring a 12-round unanimous decision over Leon Harth. That was in October of last year in Russia. Of course, the longtime amateur rival of the great Julio Cesar La Cruz, who he has a victory over in IBA pro action, and who knows? We can see the two of them, square off in a 12-round fight. But all of the professional dreams are contingent upon a victory over the biggest name that he's faced as a pro yet, in Thabiso MCHUNU. We are ready to meet the fighters. So let's send it back down to the center of the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. Soyuz Promotion, International Boxing Association, and Russian Boxing Federation proud to present the main event of the evening. 10 rounds of boxing Bridgerweight contest. Супервайзер Олег Агеев. Судьи у ринга оценивают главное событие. Judges at ringside scoring this main event. Алексей Козлов, Ираклий Малазони, Александр Калинкин. Ваш судья-хронобилист, таймкейпер Михаил Куликов. И с ударом гонга рефери. Well, the bell rings, your referee in charge, Сергей Летунов. Итак, дамы и господа на трибунах, миллионы фанатов бокса во всем мире в прямом эфире на телеканале Матч ТВ с арены Международного центра бокса. Главное событие вечера – Винлайн, Ночь чемпионов IBA. Представляю вам соперника. И первым боксера в черном углу, в красных трусах с черной полосой. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the black corner, wearing red with black. Ему 36 лет, рост 178 сантиметров, вес 95,9 килограмма. Его профессиональный рекорд – 23 победы, включая 13 побед нокаутом, 7 поражений. Ladies and gentlemen, he's 36 years old. He stands 178 centimeters tall, weighing in at 95.9 kilograms. His professional record, 23 victories, including 13 big wins by way of knockout and 7 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, representing Johannesburg, South African Republic, here is Thabiso, the Rock MCHUNU. Его соперник в золотом углу ринга, в трусах фиолетового цвета с белой полосой. And his opponent, across the ring, fighting out of the gold corner, wearing purple with white. Ему 28 лет, рост 192 сантиметра, вес 95,4 килограмма. Его профессиональный рекорд – 5 побед, ни одного поражения. 3 победы одержаны нокаутом. Ladies and gentlemen, he's 28 years old. He stands 192 centimeters tall, weighing in at 95.4 kilograms. His professional record 5 victories, including 3 wins coming by way of knockout and no losses. Дамы и господа, заслуженный мастер спорта, двукратный чемпион мира, чемпион Европы, серебряный призер Олимпийских игр, чемпион мира WBA Prison Fighter. Ladies and gentlemen, he is world champion, 2-time European champion, Olympic Games silver prize winner, and WBA Breacherweight champion of the world. Дамы и господа, приветствуйте! Из Серпухова, Россия, не знающий поражений, the undefeated Muslim GADZHIMAGOMEDOV.
Gentlemen, hold the rules, соблюдайте правила, protect yourself all the time, все время защищайте себя. Clean fight, чистый бой, touch gloves. Good luck.
And we take a look at the tail of the tape for our main event. Muslim GADZHIMAGOMEDOV taking on Thabiso MCHUNU. GADZHIMAGOMEDOV with nearly a 6-inch height advantage in this one. This one's scheduled for 10. This was originally scheduled as a WBA Bridgerweight title fight, then got knocked down to a 10-rounder. Whether it's a title fight or not, you get the sense that MCHUNU knows that this is a vital fight in his career. He visited his father back home a couple of weeks ago, and the MCHUNU say that they had a spiritual and emotional conversation. Get the feeling that the stakes are higher for MCHUNU here tonight, who, as we mentioned, has come agonizingly close to his dream of becoming world champion. Not only that, but he was in the conversation for potentially facing Canelo Alvarez a couple of years ago when it was suggested that Canelo might hop up to cruiserweight. You mentioned MCHUNU's greatest triumphs have come here in Russia. Of course, Denis Lebedev, who he's vanquished back in 2019, seated ringside. Moving on, you see the hand speed. GADZHIMAGOMEDOV. Got the sense that GADZHIMAGOMEDOV's confidence has been growing over the last couple of weeks. A few weeks ago, he said that he would win this fight with quickness, foot speed, and hand speed, but just yesterday, in an interview after the weigh-in, he said that he felt that he could knock MCHUNU out inside 8 rounds. And he felt that MCHUNU not only doesn't deal well with hand speed, but doesn't deal well with pressure. So we'll see if GADZHIMAGOMEDOV starts stepping forward with a little more regularity like that as the rounds go on. MCHUNU not uncomfortable operating off the back foot by any means, but bigger fighters like GADZHIMAGOMEDOV, he's more of an ambush fighter. He's going to fight in spurts, try and surprise his opponent with the attack, try and jump in with left hands like that, offering a little bit of a clue there as to what he might have on tap here tonight. Right now, just a front hand, a lead hand, and a front foot battle. As GADZHIMAGOMEDOV steps in with a nice jab. MCHUNU returns fire with a left hand to the belt line. Quiet opening round, and you'd have to think that quiet rounds play to the hand of the Olympic silver medalist.
You don't want him to like to settle down. I like that, what you do. Your body language is good. How are you feeling in there? Good. Good. Huh? Good. Like that. Sit down and work him out, babe. Be patient. Work him out, brother. Work him out.
You're on the counter fighting great.
Yeah, all right. Just, you know what? He needs to put on the show, yeah. He needs to let him mistake, yeah. He's going to make a mistake. Be ready to counter, eh?
Round 2.
So round 2 begins. Heard the conversation in the corner of Thabiso and MCHUNU. They like what they see so far. Get the feeling that GADZHIMAGOMEDOV is perhaps nervous right now. Feel that make the kinds of mistakes that MCHUNU could capitalize on. MCHUNU, of course, has been in there with many of the best in the world, including Alexander Usyk. Good showing against Usyk back in 2016 before he was ultimately stopped. MCHUNU continued to improve as a fighter after that loss. In fact, you'd have to think that all of his best outings came after that fight. MCHUNU was talking about retirement about 2 years ago, but has continued forward. Again, has had some heartbreak since then. Hoping to avoid that once more tonight in Moscow. GADZHIMAGOMEDOV just taking what's given to him thus far. Stealing those shots to the body. Snapping jab there up top. This is just the 6th pro bout in the career of GADZHIMAGOMEDOV. Still very much getting used to professional pacing, despite the fact he's a WBA cruiserweight title holder. Right hand to the body there. Even in his title-winning effort, you saw that learning curve that exists for GADZHIMAGOMEDOV. Won his title with a brutal stoppage victory over former cruiserweight title challenger Zhaoxin Zhang in July of last year at the IBA Coliseum, but Zhang basically brought all-out pressure in that fight, and even though GADZHIMAGOMEDOV scored the stoppage in that fight, it certainly looked like he was breathing heavily at the end of that 4th round once the stoppage was scored. Right now has been able to work pretty comfortably at long range, where he's been able to touch MCHUNU, not the opposite. MCHUNU trying to inch just a little bit closer where he can be effective. Good pivot there from GADZHIMAGOMEDOV, and he has MCHUNU rocked here in the 2nd round.
Today's round, round 3.
As round 3 begins, that right hand that you saw in the highlight pack from round 2, right at the end of the round, I mean, that is how you draw it up in the gym. You don't always imagine that you'll land a right hand like that, off a pivot like that, especially in a high-level contest like this. GADZHIMAGOMEDOV with a beautiful right hand that had MCHUNU in a little bit of trouble. At the end of round 2, you saw MCHUNU, at least to start round 2, closing the distance a little bit. Maybe trying to take those pathways away from GADZHIMAGOMEDOV. He tries to get his right foot outside of the Olympic silver medalist. MCHUNU tries to step in with the left hand. Caught the gloves of GADZHIMAGOMEDOV. We will see what the 36-year-old legs of Thabiso MCHUNU have left here tonight, especially carrying some added weight. Now entering the bridger weight division, coming in above 220 pounds in here tonight. That's a lot more than MCHUNU is used to carrying. Down at cruiserweight. Typically comfortably made that limit, weigh in around 198 or so. MCHUNU short in stature for cruiserweight. At bridgerweight, he'll have even larger problems, literally and figuratively, perhaps. To the final minute of round 3. MCHUNU just using that wide stance, the thread in the left hand. Keep GADZHIMAGOMEDOV on the outside. Not something that GADZHIMAGOMEDOV will dislike. And there again, pivot around MCHUNU and look for that right hand. Issue for MCHUNU in these quiet moments is that even if nothing extremely substantial is happening, GADZHIMAGOMEDOV, by even touching him to the body like that, is just piling up points. But there you see MCHUNU with a nice counter left hand over the top.
You're faster than him. You've got a fast, yeah, whatever, but go, your reflexes, turn it up, turn it up. You feel good, yeah. One there, throw 3 punches, right? You catch him 3 punches, you can catch him. Finish with a hook. Boom, boom, boom. Watch it, yeah, touch him, baby. Very relaxed. Trying to win some rounds, right? He's getting anxious, good. You're getting more relaxed, you're getting faster. Okay. Play with it, bro. Play with it, bro. Out the corner first. Let's go. Get out the corner first. Come on. We're trying to push.
Cheer to the hook round, round 4.
You hear the injection of confidence in the Thabiso MCHUNU corner there as we begin round 4. MCHUNU corner feeling as though GADZHIMAGOMEDOV is getting anxious. MCHUNU, in their words, play with him in this round. And again, the vast gap in professional, high-level professional experience for MCHUNU. If you knew nothing about the background of GADZHIMAGOMEDOV, you would probably think that's the case as well. But the assignment, not that easy for MCHUNU tonight. But he's off to a good start here in round 4. Some good body work from the Rock. Muslim rallying behind GADZHIMAGOMEDOV. MCHUNU falling off balance there. Much to the delight, the excitement of the crowd here in Moscow. This left hand to the body again from MCHUNU, who's taking the initiative with more regularity here in the fourth. This is the best consistent work from MCHUNU yet. Well, that's a nice counter from GADZHIMAGOMEDOV. A right hand that backs him up momentarily. Big swinging left hand there. Time and time again, GADZHIMAGOMEDOV thinking about that clever pivot that allowed him to score the right hand in the second round. MCHUNU has cut off that pathway each time since. There it is. MCHUNU meets him with a left hand. It strays a little bit low, but the point remains. That pet move of GADZHIMAGOMEDOV, there he thinks about it again. MCHUNU seems to have that one figured out. There's these jabs to the body in the quiet moments that may be the issue, at least in terms of what the judges are seeing here round after round. It is again from the Olympic silver medalist.
Got it out. Round 5.
The sold-out International Boxing Center in Moscow, enjoying this one, our main event between Muslim GADZHIMAGOMEDOV and Thabiso MCHUNU. A monstrous crowd at the weigh-in yesterday. It was staged in a mall in Moscow, and the hallways were absolutely packed. Many of the Russian boxing stars on hand and weighing in during the week. Two former Russian cruiserweight stars, Dmitry Kudryashov and Denis Lebedev, also weighed in on this fight, and they had very different takes. Kudryashov was a lot harsher. He said that he feels MCHUNU is, quote, too clumsy and over the hill to catch up with GADZHIMAGOMEDOV, while Lebedev was a lot more cautious. He told GADZHIMAGOMEDOV not to overlook MCHUNU and that he closes distance a lot faster than you think. And going back to the message that we just heard in the corner of Thabiso MCHUNU, we want a little bit more movement, either in or out, from MCHUNU, telling him not to be as stationary as he has been, because things like that will happen. He gets touched by a nice right hand from GADZHIMAGOMEDOV. In those legs, that athleticism of MCHUNU that have carried him so far in his career. He's a standout soccer player as a child. Still to this day, spends time training with some of the members of the South African national soccer team for his strength and conditioning. see even at 220 plus, even at 36 years of age, MCHUNU visibly in terrific shape here tonight. Corner of MCHUNU asking him to push GADZHIMAGOMEDOV back. MCHUNU applying the pressure this round. Hasn't brought the volume with it. Here his corner at times pleading with him, telling him, you'll catch him, I promise you. Wanting MCHUNU to be a little bit busier than he has been this round. Again, the pressure is there. You see him framing up, walking GADZHIMAGOMEDOV down. The WBA Bridgerweight champion with the movement and the hand speed, staying out of harm's way in that round.
Choose timeout, round 6.
Box.
No ambiguity in the corner of MCHUNU as round 6 begins. Pressure, pressure, pressure is the edict for the Rock. And again, reading between the lines of that messaging, they didn't say it explicitly. They didn't say, hey, we need more punches, we need more volume. The way that they said it sort of suggested that, telling him, when you throw, you land. When you throw, you can hurt him. The key word there has been when, because GADZHIMAGOMEDOV has been the busier of the two men. Snapping jab there from GADZHIMAGOMEDOV. Go back to the earliest assessment that GADZHIMAGOMEDOV had of this fight. He was speaking weeks ago. He said that movement and hand speed would win him this fight. Again, became a little bit more brazen in his assessments as weeks went on, feeling as though he could maybe stop MCHUNU inside 8 rounds. And he has buzzed MCHUNU. He did so early in this fight. But by and large, since then, he's gone back to seemingly what he originally envisioned. That he could simply box his way to victory here tonight. Right idea there from MCHUNU. Step to the outside with that left hand coming down the center. Left-handed body from GADZHIMAGOMEDOV, but MCHUNU stands his ground, lands a nice sharp left hand.
Stop! Stop! Right. Box.
Indication wasn't clear there. I think what the referee was telling MCHUNU is don't step on GADZHIMAGOMEDOV's foot intentionally. Although if he can get away with it, it would be a great plan. GADZHIMAGOMEDOV, nice uppercut through the middle there. Starting to get a little bit more creative. Starting to take some chances offensively, but it is in the midst of that chaos. MCHUNU could find some openings as well. And this is a much different style and a much different level than GADZHIMAGOMEDOV has been on in the professional ranks. Up to the task thus far. We will head
Team final, round 7.
box. Round 7 begins. GADZHIMAGOMEDOV said before this fight, I will hit quickly and I will leave quickly. He said, if you remember, MCHUNU's fights with Tischenko and Lebedev, they simply couldn't catch up with the speed of MCHUNU. The speed of MCHUNU hasn't really shown up thus far here tonight, although he's looking a little bit more aggressive in the 7th round. And part of it may be the skill set of GADZHIMAGOMEDOV. Part of it may be the aging process, the added poundage that MCHUNU is carrying here tonight. In any event, he's having a lot more success than his countryman did. GADZHIMAGOMEDOV closing the gap a little bit. Saw the pantomime in his corner, suggesting some more multi-punch combinations from him. MCHUNU landed a nice counter right hook over the top there. Grazed the shoulder of GADZHIMAGOMEDOV, landed nonetheless, but now GADZHIMAGOMEDOV makes his way to the inside and lands a nice left hook to the body. MCHUNU replies with a body shot. Now the action picking up here in round 7. Inside the final 30 seconds of round 7. GADZHIMAGOMEDOV stepping to the inside with more regularity now. Maybe sensing that MCHUNU is starting to wear down, or perhaps that we're just going to be at a standstill here. If MCHUNU isn't going to throw that often, well, I might as well try to get to the inside. And he's done some good work in there. Some good left hooks to the body. A couple uppercuts as well.
Come on. Looking good. They think I missed the counter. Doesn't matter. They think gonna catch him. Boom, boom, Johnny Tommy, boom. That's what you want. You can tell him nothing. You're too good for him. Give me some water. All day, baby, all day. You can do this all day now.
Fast boy round, round 8.
Box.
Round 8 now underway. Thabiso MCHUNU opens the round up with a nice body shot there. Messaging in the MCHUNU corner. Trying to rally their fighter, trying to get him to be a little bit busier. Instilling that confidence in him that he can hurt GADZHIMAGOMEDOV. Again, trying to read between the lines here. That may also be a suggestion that he might need to hurt GADZHIMAGOMEDOV, given how this fight has gone thus far. There's a little bit of frustration from MCHUNU. You heard him communicating with his corner, saying, hey, when I try something, he counters and he steps out. That has been an issue. Again, is the counter-punching ability of GADZHIMAGOMEDOV that has allowed him land shots like that and to move as quickly in the pros as he has. Terrific uppercut from GADZHIMAGOMEDOV. Now has MCHUNU against the ropes. MCHUNU doesn't seem bothered by that shot, but the temperature has certainly gone up here in the 8th. Big left hand there from GADZHIMAGOMEDOV. Just wraps around the guard of MCHUNU. Looks like some swelling might be developing under the eye of MCHUNU after that shot. We'll get a look at it in the corner, perhaps. Pace is picking up dramatically here in the 8th. GADZHIMAGOMEDOV oozing confidence as we get into the later rounds of our main event. Again, looking for that home run counter over the top, but it was just those direct right hands from GADZHIMAGOMEDOV, just kind of flicking them out there, almost throwing them, delivering them the way you would a jab. But they connect as he continues to stay busy, and now back on that long, rangy jab. And he will back MCHUNU into his own corner. We come to the end of round 8. 2 to go in our main event.
Боковыми не маши боковыми. Все правильно сделал, все хорошо. 9-й раунд. 9-й раунд, муслим. Все идет хорошо. Перейди рукой быстро. Джеб. В начале раунда повнимательнее будь. Выдох. Вторую половину прибавь остроту сейчас. Работай. Загал было. Не отпускай туда. Не отпускай.
Девятый раунд, round 9.
Box.
2 rounds remain here in our main event between Muslim GADZHIMAGOMEDOV, the WBA Bridgerweight champion, and the former world title challenger Thabiso MCHUNU. The Bridgerweight title not on the line here tonight, but big opportunities certainly on the line for the winner of this one. GADZHIMAGOMEDOV has carved out a nice little niche for himself, of course, with his stature as an Olympic medalist, fighting at home in Russia, hanging out in the Bridgerweight division, but lot of intrigue exists if he can get down to the cruiserweight limit as well. Perhaps even challenge some heavyweights as well. At 6'4", he has the frame to be able to do that. Of course, a double world amateur champion at heavyweight. Amateur heavyweights, of course, much smaller than the monsters that we see at the top of the pro heavyweight division. Trying to roll underneath and land shots like that. Just clubbing right hands over the top. Hasn't been able to land that one flush. There's a better one. The right hook from Thabiso MCHUNU. MCHUNU's coach said before the fight, we need a change of momentum in his career, and hopefully this could be it. If he could win this fight, we could go down to cruiserweight and get a big fight. Or perhaps, they say, if he wins, maybe a rematch with GADZHIMAGOMEDOV's Bridgerweight title on the line the next time around. If not, there will certainly be question marks about where MCHUNU goes next. Final 15 seconds of round 9. MCHUNU walks into a nice counter right hand from GADZHIMAGOMEDOV. Just 3 minutes to work with if MCHUNU wants to pull off another upset in Russia.
He's not on your level. You're getting better, baby. You're getting better. Got the gunshot. You ain't Zulu King. You come from a lineage of warriors. You come from warriors. What great players do. They make the play in these moments.
Last round 10.
Great players. Don't give him nothing. You don't sit, you don't wait for nothing. Okay. Look so good on the front foot. Stay on the front foot.
Заключительный 10-й раунд. Round 10. The final round. И ваша поддержка Москва.
10th and a final round. Thabiso MCHUNU's corner telling him, hey, big-time players make big-time plays in big-time moments. We've referenced all the heartbreak that MCHUNU has had in moments that seemed like they would be life and career-altering against Junior Makabu, against Yamil Peralta in March of last year. And he finds something magical here in the 10th round. Or will Muslim GADZHIMAGOMEDOV continue on the tremendous fast track that he's been on in the professional ranks? Good right hands on the inside from GADZHIMAGOMEDOV. Uppercuts to the body and a short, straight right hand. Hard right hand to the body from GADZHIMAGOMEDOV. That right hand off the pivot that he landed that buzzed MCHUNU in the second round. He brings it downstairs. Same move, same shot, different place. And now look at the footwork of the Olympic silver medalist. In a round where MCHUNU needed to turn up the aggression. It's the champion who's beating him in that department, who is taking the initiative in the final round. Boy, GADZHIMAGOMEDOV could very much have just gone on his bicycle in this round, and in all likelihood, still would have won a decision. Instead, he has taken the fight to MCHUNU. As he riles up some crowd support in the final 30 seconds of the contest. Absolute desperation in the voices of the MCHUNU corner. We are running out of time and running out of hope for The Rock, as he has been stymied by the WBA Bridgerweight champion, Muslim GADZHIMAGOMEDOV. That is a set of skills that is a lot to deal with. We take a look back at some of GADZHIMAGOMEDOV's handiwork in the final round. Just the complexity of the footwork, the hand speed. Seemingly too much for the 36-year-old Bridgerweight version of Thabiso MCHUNU to deal with tonight. After 10 hard-fought rounds, the scores are in the ring. Let's send it down to the center of the ring for the official decision.
Итак, уважаемые дамы и господа, аплодисменты обоим участникам главного боя! Итак, по завершении главного события обратимся к судейским запискам. After the end of the main event, we go to the judges' scorecards. Судьи 1 и 2 одинаково оценили этот поединок 190. Judges 1 and 2 are in agreement, scoring the same 190. И судья номер 3 191. Judge number 3 scored about 191. Таким образом, единогласным решением судей одержал победу и остается не знающим поражений Муслим Гаджимагомедов! Россия! И аплодисменты его сопернику Thabiso The Rock MCHUNU! Общее фото! Общее фото, please! Group photo, please!
So Muslim GADZHIMAGOMEDOV with the unanimous